I don't even know if this is going to work, but it'd be cool if it does. I'm going to show you what happens when you scan their shitty parts list that has a QR code on it. It says, scan with your iPhone camera. Well, not everybody in the world uses an iPhone. Or QR code app to watch the video. So whatever. Okay, let's do this and see if it works. Okay, there we go. So, show options. Open in browser. Going to FedEx. This video is unavailable. Wow, isn't that nice? So, AXP Racing doesn't even have... They put a QR code on there that's a dead link. So this is my review of the AXP Racing rear rack for the Honda CRF300L, and I don't know if they make them for other ones as well, but I'm going to say not good for the money, because when you get this, it is an unfinished part. So here's why it is an unfinished part. I myself am a machine operator. A finished part requires finishing. So as you can see, they have beveled this top side. All the cutouts are beveled, right? Good. They didn't bevel the underside of anything. All the edges on the underside of this thing, the outside edges and the inside edges on the bottom, are all razor sharp. That is ridiculous. It is the machinist's job to bevel these parts, to deburr the parts. If you're not going to bevel them, like you've clearly acknowledged the top, why didn't you acknowledge the bottom and bevel it? They're all razor sharp, straight out of the package. So you have to take an hour of your time, and if you don't have something like a Dremel or a deburring tool of sorts, what do they call them? Not a router, but like an electric sander or whatever, which isn't going to help you for these smaller ones anyway. What you really need is a Dremel. Now, you can sit there and you can take sandpaper and do it. You could take some 80 grit sandpaper and run all the edges and wear your hands out. Frankly, it's fucking bullshit, because you spend over $100 for a couple pieces of plastic and a little bit of hardware, and they didn't finish the part, and that's not the only thing that's unfinished. So these are countersunk holes that come on this. Let's finish talking about that though. If you got a Dremel or any kind of rotary tool, or you could use a power drill if you have a power drill as well. It's going to be a little bit more complicated, but you take it and you got to put yourself a little sanding wheel in there, and then run all the edges on the bottom, and at least bevel them. Just bevel that sharp edge off, at least, and then you need to take I mean, if you're like me and you expect for it to have a nice finish, then you take some fine grit sandpaper, and then, because it's going to have like all the little flashing after you've run it with the sander wheel, so you need to hit it with some fine grit sandpaper and knock all that off so it doesn't look shitty. And that goes for these side pieces as well. You have to do all that. Sorry about that. So you got to do all that. Take all the sharp edges off of that. You can see I've just knocked the edge off of everything. That's still, that I didn't get that piece right there. So you can see there how sharp that inside edge is. They're very sharp. Okay? So you're going to have to take you an hour of your time to finish the part that they should have finished. And still spend over $100 for this thing. And then the other gripe, like I was saying, these are countersunk holes for the bolt head to sink down into. They're not countersunk deep enough. The entire point of countersinking a hole is so that your bolt head can get flush with the surface of whatever it is. So it's not low enough. They're not countersunk enough. These are tight too. I've tightened these bolts. I'm not going to tighten them any tighter, because I'm not trying to be stupid here and strip it or something. But get this thing to focus. It's not flush. The head of that screw is still sticking up above. There we go. The head of that screw is still sticking up above the surface of the rack. So if you put anything on here, strap anything down on here that you don't want to get scratched, you want to keep nice, it's not going to be any good, because it's going to rub on the surface of these bolts and scratch it. So the holes need to be countersunk about a 1/16 or 3/32 deeper for the hardware to sit below flush, because it shouldn't be flush. It needs to be below flush so that you don't contact the hardware. So this rear rack, you need to seriously think about other options if you don't want to put some extra work into this thing. I'm going to have to go get a countersink now. I should be able, I should be able to do it. Hopefully, I can do it with a drill bit, just a larger drill bit with a tapered, tip. But I'm gonna take this back off and then countersunk those how they should have came. And that's after the hour of work that I put into beveling all these edges that they send to you sharp as a knife. So other than that, fitment I have zero complaints about. This installs very easily. It's very straightforward. You remove the factory hardware, the seat hardware. Basically, it's for like bungees. The hardware here and the hardware back here. Where the hell is it? Yeah, right there. And you replace it with their hardware, and that's how you attach the rack. There's some little spacers here. They are, I think they're aluminum spacers. And yeah, it goes together super easy. You just put these two sides on first, put those on first, and then you attach the top rack there. But this is priced probably twice as high as it should be for an unfinished part. AXP Racing is selling you an unfinished part. This would not fly in my workplace whatsoever. You can't send something that's unfinished like that to a customer and charge them full price like it's a finished part. That's fucking bullshit, AXP. Now, as far as sturdiness, this is very, very sturdy. I would have no problem picking the bike up by this. I mean, it attaches into the frame and everything. This is super rigid. It's very thick. I mean, it's like an inch thick It's about 7/8, probably about 7/8 inch thick. Wouldn't be scared to drop it and for it to hit a rock or anything like that. This is going to hold up. I'm sure of it. I love it. I love that it's got the grab bars. That is super sweet for just moving, for me to move the bike around in the garage and stuff. Scoot it here, scoot it there, scoot it out of the way, pick it up when it gets dropped, you know, scoot it on the trail, whatever. Or just lift the rear tire up. Really, really nice otherwise. But I'm really fucking pissed off that you pay $100 and something. I can't remember how much. $100 and something, and they send you an unfinished part. That's bullshit. That's my review of the AXP Racing rear rack for the CRF300.